What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be a continuation of a video I made a few months ago. If you remember back, I made a video about pre-loading your aircraft in the editor, so when you make a mission, you're ready to rock and roll and get up and start kicking some ass without really having to fuck with the configuration when you're on the ground. And today's objective is to show you the new way. So a lot of the modules that I used in the last video, if you remember that video, are gone, specifically for the F-16 and I believe the F-15, possibly the F-14. I'm not sure, but I'm going to get in here and I'm going to show you guys how to actually do it nowadays. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn myself in here so you guys can see. Just use the basic pilot I got. I use good old Firewheel coming in clutch. And we're going to go ahead and use one of our ACC F-16s, Spangdahlem. Going to go ahead and pop in a 107th A10. And then I'm also going to go ahead and just pop in an F-14. Random. You know what? I'll grab a 15 as well. From the 67th. Good old Fighting Cocks, baby. Let's go. We'll make sure there's nothing else. Grab a 22 as well. So, well, I accidentally just double-clicked on this, so this is going to be a good entryway into here. So, if you'll notice here, when you double-click on an aircraft within the editor, this pylon settings is now here. This is as of the Arma Jets DLC. A lot of the aircraft have been scripted to have this pylon setting within the actual settings, the attributes. You can either double-click on the aircraft in the editor to get there, or you can right-click on that aircraft and just simply click on attributes, and it will pull this up. Sometimes it takes just a second. Sometimes it's instant. I don't know. So within this little editor here, you can customize whatever loadouts you want based on that type of aircraft and based on whatever that aircraft is allowed to carry. This is the new way. The new way. The old way, which I had in my last video, which is the way that last video was before the Jets DLC came out, was where you had to go into object modifiers and grab a module and place it down. So those are all pretty much gone now. All of those are gone, except for, I guess, the F-18 initial setup. The one by Saul, I believe, is Saul and John Spartan. So I'm going to go ahead and double check to make sure that all the pylon settings. I mean, this is just a simple gee-wiz video. A lot of people were like, "Oh, you know, it's not working. There's no module anymore. What do I do?" Well, it's real simple. They've streamlined it to where you don't have to fuck with modules anymore. It's all right here. Boom. Sometimes you can even click on a certain type of loadout. This will generally be down here. I think it's for more of the Russian aircraft. But you can double-click. Not every aircraft can do this, though. That's the thing. Not every single aircraft has the pylon setting. So, judging by what mod it is, for example, SAB, he's got aircraft that he made. He's got a lot of certain types of aircraft that he's made. And each one of these, you notice he has weapon stations under the wings here. Each one of his aircraft also has his own little customizable pylon setting. So it's really just dependent on the mods that you download. Let's see. Well, let's find another one real quick. EF2000. I think this was a mod I grabbed on Armaholics. I think I grabbed it on Armaholics. It might be in the Steam Workshop. I'm not sure, but I do believe it has a pylon setting as well. It does not. Okay, so perfect example. This is one of the aircraft that just doesn't have it. I don't know if the mod makers are working on it to fix it. So this is one of those aircraft that you're still going to want to spawn in a hangar. That way, if you want to change the loadout of all, you can do that once you get in the mission. But like I said, a lot of aircraft. Now let's double check. We've got the pylon settings option, and it's really awesome. It streamlines everything. You can fuck with it in the editor. You can also fuck with it in Zeus, and that's going to be my step. That's going to be phase 2 of this video. I'm going to go ahead and give myself Zeus. I'm going to load up the game, and I'm going to show you how you can edit things within Zeus. And it's also super simple. Oh, looks like I didn't double click. Good enough. So I'm just going to do one more. And I am going to show you still, before I go into Zeus, the changes. So if you make any changes, for example, I want that, and I want 2 instead of a sparrow, which I always have a sparrow anyway because they're fucking awesome. Let's go with all sparrows. Go ahead and show you that before, when you would make changes, when you would load a module, it wouldn't immediately change. So now, there was a sparrow here on this underslung pylon. Now it's 2 sidewinders like I had just selected. And now all of these, instead of being Phoenix missiles, are sparrows. So any changes you make through the pylon settings will actually change in real time as you're making them. You don't have to like load up the game and hope that they took, and maybe they didn't. They will definitely take in real time. Let's show you the F-16. So you notice it's got AMRAMs on the wingtips, which that's the way this should be because it helps with the wings bouncing. So let's go ahead and just load up the entire thing with AMRAMs because it has, if you can see right there, AIM-9s. So let's go ahead and load. Boom, real time, all of them, AMRAMs. Kick ass, huh? Super simple, super simple. Some people just haven't dove into the editor yet and really messed with it. So let's go ahead and give myself Zeus. Go down into Zeus, load Game Master. I'm going to go ahead and sync to that. Just as an added measure, also, I'm going to set owner as P1, which is myself. I'm going to double-click a variable name P1, just in case the sync doesn't work. I always do that as like a extra precaution, but it only works. So I found out it only works if you have one guy as Zeus. Like if I did P1, P2, P3, it won't work for all 3 of those guys. You could sync 3 guys to it, and it has worked that way, but it's kind of finicky. Getting multiple people into Zeus requires a lot more scripting than I'm honestly used to, but I'm still learning. So let's go ahead and load the map up here, and I will show you how to do it in Zeus. And then that'll be all she wrote. Honestly, it's a simple change, and it's a great change. I really like the change that they've made. All right, so here we are in the game. I don't know what the hell that error was all about, but all right, anyway, go ahead and call up Zeus. It's gonna lag for just a second because that's what my computer likes to do. All right, so now we're in Zeus. Oh, that wasn't Zeus. There we go. Now we're in Zeus. Oh, we're in an overly simplified Zeus that it doesn't like to get. So I'm gonna go ahead and place down things I didn't know when I started fucking with Zeus. Any entities that you put in before you load up the map, you can't really fuck with. Like, I can't move this at all. There's a little tidbit. Didn't know that until I started playing around with Zeus, which has been relatively recently. So I'm going to go ahead and not select crew. Load up an empty jet. And it's the same damn thing. Slightly altered. So, double-click on the aircraft. I don't know if right-click actually... Nope, right-click does not work. So, double-click on the aircraft and just go to loadout. Same thing. There you go. There is your loadout screen within Zeus. This is the Achilles mod, but I don't think it's any different from standard Zeus. If it is, it's not going to vary very much. It's not going to be very much different. So again, you can change all the loadouts, give them all AIM-9Xs on one side, and hit OK. All AIM-9Xs. There we go. This didn't change because I didn't mess with it. There you go. That's how you do it in Zeus. And you can do it with any of these aircraft. And there's so many more aircraft that you can fuck with. But there's just some you can't. So you're just really gonna have to get in your editor and just see which ones you can mess with. Like just having made missions and played in multiplayer with my Arma group, I know which ones I can mess with and which ones I can't. So it really just comes down to memorization. If you need to write it down, what have you. That's really helpful. So I hope you guys learned something today. Come back, leave a comment, like, and subscribe if you like what you saw, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.